player mats, which here we've got the coins, and we've got the player markers, and we've got the tokens, cards, and the all important dice. And yeah, so I'm just going to run through a quick setup. This will be the setup for the very first time they play it, for the short game, which can be found on the instruction book, page 4. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to set this up now. So what we have, I'm going to shift all everything out of the way, just to give us a little bit of space. Okay. So Istanbul is probably one of my favourite worker placement games. It's quick, it's easy, and everyone that I play really likes it. So the way that you lay the tiles out in a 4x4 grid, ruby per player. You also give all the players one of the boards, which is here. Now this hasn't been punched yet, and what we do is, so we've got 4 players. Let's punch all these out. There we go. So that's how the players will start. And then we take these wheel carts and we place them somewhere. We place them on the wainwright. And then the first person to get 4 of these into their wheelbarrow will get one of these gems. Like that, like so. So it means that one player can get a gem from having a full caravan, a full wheelbarrow. And this would cost 7 every time you purchased one. Okay, so the next part is to set up the small mosques and the great mosque. So what we do is we look for the tokens that have the silk on it. Silk. It's not silk, it's spice. We look for the spice. And we put those here. And Maisie's off on her trot again. And that one's the silk. And the way that you stack them is you do the smallest one at the top, so 2, 3, 4 and 5, and that will go there. We then do the great mosque, which are the rubies. We then do the fruit. And if some of you are wondering where my Maisie has gone to, she has decided to sit under the struts that's holding the camera up. I'm a little bit nervous that she's going to knock the camera off, but she's normally a good kitty. When you give the players each board, there is also some cheat sheets. There's a cheat sheet, so it gives you all the options that you can do. Okay, we also need to seed the caravanserai, which is all the cards. You would give them a good shuffle and then place them there. Okay, and then we have the markets. So we need the small market and the large market. So the large market is the darker colour, and that will go here face up, so you just give them a shuffle just to see which one will be on top. If you want to get some money, this is the one ways that you generate your income. You can go to the large market or the small market and sell these goods. So you'd need 1 fruit, 2 rings and 2 silk. And then if you had all 5, you would get 25 coins. If you could only sell 4, you'd get 18, 3 12, and so forth. It's exactly the same for the small market. Next up, we need to take these 4 wooden blocks and place them on the post office. Right here. So it will start on the top here, and every time a player goes here, you will slide this down. Then the next player that goes here will get these 4, then you slide it down, then dip, dip, until eventually everything's been got, and you slide it all back up. Next up is the Governor and the Smuggler. The Governor is the purple one, the Smuggler is the black one. The Governor, when you land on his space, it allows you to take 1 bonus card, and you can discard 1 bonus card or pay 2 Lira to keep it. The Smuggler allows you to take 1 good and give 1, but you have to give back 1 good or pay 2 Lira. And once you've performed their actions, you then roll the dice to see where he ends up. So they both start on the fountain or wherever. You then roll the dice for the Governor. So 4, 8. So he goes to number 8, which is the back market. The Governor will do the same. You roll the dice. 6, 7, 8. Now they can both be on the same one if you want them to, but as it's if it's your first time, I'd recommend putting them on separate tiles. So just re-roll the dice again. 4, 5, 6, 7, which will be the fountain. Now any time a player lands one of those, they do the action that's based on the card that they land on. So in this case it would be the fountain, and then you can do the Governor or the Smuggler's action. So next up is the money. So you have a nice bag of token monies. So the first player will start with 2 Lira, second, third, fourth, fifth. Then it will go 3 Lira, 4 Lira, 5 Lira, as you might expect. You also need to decide who the starting player is going to be. I don't think I've ever actually used this. And also what you need to do is give each player a bag of tokens in this case. So what we have in the bag, normally there's stickers on them, but I haven't put the stickers on yet. So this is your nephew or cousin, and they start in the police station. Now the idea is that as you start placing your workers, you'll soon run out of workers, or you've already got one of your workers somewhere where you've already done the action, and you can get to the police station easier than you can to get where you need to be. So it allows you to get, so you basically break your nephew out of prison, and you can then send him somewhere without having to pay somebody else the Lira to use the spot that they're on. So you could send him to the Wainwright to then perform this action. So you get the 7 Lira, just pay the 7 Lira and get one of these. The thing that you can't do is you can't say send him to the fountain and then perform the Smuggler or the Governor's actions. Okay, so you get given 6 pieces. 1 goes into a supply, and the 5 of them will go on the fountain. That will be your starting position. And as the game goes on, you can purchase through this one. Once you buy this one, it will give you your 5th one from the supply. And that is the setup. Oh, there's one more thing. the red tokens, what these are for. So you start with no goods there, like that. So you've got to be very careful when you play in this game not to jog the cards, because they do slide very easily. And so when you go to the spice warehouse, the fruit warehouse, or the silk warehouse, the fabric warehouse, you then up those to maximum. So at the moment I can only get 2 of each good, but if I had this board, that would allow me to fill up all the silk, all the spice, and all the fruit I can carry. And also, the rings are the hardest ones to get because there's no warehouse for them. The way that you can get rings is from the black market. You say aloud a number. No, that's the other one. So the black market is you roll 2 dice. So 10. That would actually be quite good. So I would then get 2 rings. Yay! There is also the tea house, and this is the one where you say the number. So I'm going to say 7. 6, 10. So I got 10, but because I got above 7, I would then get that much gold. So I would then, because I got above 7, I would then get 7 Lira. Whenever I play this game, I always refer to Lira as gold. I think it's because I have played so many games where it's actually gold or some other form of currency. The other way to get rings is from the post office on this step, or from the smuggler, and also the cards. So whenever a card says this, that means you can take 1 good of your choice. Another way to get gems, when you then perform these actions, so what these mean is, okay, so that means you need to have 1 silk immediately, but then you also have to spend 1 silk, so you effectively need 2, but you lose 1 silk. And this one will allow you to, and there's the kitty checking out the card, this will allow you to re-roll your dice, or turn one of the dice to a 4. And then once you have both of these on your board, you then take a gem. Obviously they won't fit on the board, so you just put them in your play area. And the first person, and the win condition is always important. So the game will end when when one player has got all of these gem spots, and then you literally count up the monies as a tie break. So if player 3 gets all of his gems, all the other players have 1 more turn to try and catch up. Okay, and I think that is everything. I've probably missed something, but this is the setup and a brief playthrough of Istanbul.